Worth it for your home? Well, before you
campus just 9 days ago. The vigil comes ahead of Sunday's funeral for Kirk. Tens of thousands are expected to attend. Students at Utah Valley University gathered to pay tribute to Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated on their campus just 9 days ago. The vigil comes ahead of Sunday's funeral for Kirk. Tens of thousands are expected to attend, including President Trump. His murder and some unexpected outreach that Kirk made the day before his death had resonated with our CNN colleague Van Jones. The story begins when a Ukrainian woman was fatally stabbed last month in North Carolina. The suspect is a black man, and Charlie Kirk and Van got into a public sparring match online. Kirk claimed the murder happened because she was white. Van denounced that as completely unfounded. Kirk then sent out what Van calls a fire hose of tweets challenging his argument, which Van says sparked death threats against him. In the midst of all of this, Kirk reached out to Van in a direct message on X. "Hey Van, I mean it. I'd love to have you on my show to have a respectful conversation about crime and race. I would be a gentleman, as I know you would be as well. We can disagree about the issues agreeably." Now, that message was sent on September 9th. Van says he did not see it until the very next day after Kirk was murdered. Van Jones just wrote a piece about this for CNN.com and is here tonight. This is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah. Look, we were beefing. We were going at it online, on air. And then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, "Van, he was trying to reach you, man." What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy. This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay? At all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me. Even with me.
If, would you have gone on his show? Would you have done
look, I would have probably tried to get him on your show. I wasn't trying to build his platform, but I would have called him, we would have talked, and we would have started the process of trying to figure this stuff out. And I think what happens is, people get so worked up, Anderson, seeing us go at it, they think they're supposed to go out and kill somebody, or go out and talk about civil war, or go out and silence people, or cancel people, or fire people, or censor people. About Charlie Kirk, Mr. Debate, I did not agree with him on literally almost anything. But we were words, not weapons guys. We were words, not weapons guys. And we were getting into a position where we could get some real debate going, whether it was going to be on CNN, on his show. That wasn't worked out. But I would have taken him up. I wanted to beat Charlie Kirk in a debate. I didn't want somebody to shoot him. That's how we do it in America. And the idea that now people on both sides are justifying murders and calling for civil wars, we got to calm this down, Anderson. We need to calm this down. We need to lower the temperature. Yes, we disagree, but like he said, we can disagree agreeably. That's his last words to me. Let's disagree agreeably. We should take that spirit into the Memorial Weekend for this guy.
You also wrote that in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murders, Americans have a choice. They can choose more violence, more outrage, more censorship, or a different way. It's similar to what the governor in Utah, Spencer Cox, has said in recent days.
Yeah, look, he's a Republican. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. I'm a strong Democrat. We have a choice now. This could be the beginning of us getting off of this pathway, but the pathway we're on, Anderson, is scary. It's about more violence, it's about more retribution, it's about more censorship, it's about more of everything that nobody wants, but we can't seem to get off of it. Charlie Kirk, in his last message to me, was pointing a way out. Civil discourse, civil dialogue, debate, let's disagree agreeably. If you want to get off this train, we can do it this weekend.
Van Jones, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Criminals are using tools that allow them to roll back odometers for
taxes. If the people who were So apparently Trump is proposing a bill that will cut Section 8 funding. You don't have to be someone that utilizes Section 8 to see the damage that this man is trying to cause. Why is it when money needs to be cut, they want to try to take from low-income families, but not make their rich friends pay their taxes? If the people who were well off would just pay their taxes, no money would need to be cut. And people seem to think that, oh, ghetto people are just the ones with Section 8. No, it is made for low-income families, people with disabilities, veterans, people that just need help paying their rent. It just seemed like to me that they like to attack groups that are the most vulnerable instead of getting more money from the groups that are more stable. That's just crazy to me. And at some point, you got to think these people are really evil. You're cutting funding from people who already can't afford their housing. How evil do you sound? Section 8 has paved the way for many people to be able to have roof and housing over their heads. So to make that a primary focus for cutting, it's just weird to me. Diabolical, if you will.
I'm gonna have to come live with you, man, because they just took my Section 8. So they took my Section 8 voucher. Who the fuck gonna vote for me and let me come live with them? Story of the day. Your shit gone sooner than later. Open your eyes tomorrow, you'll have a note at your goddamn door. Section 8. It's over with for your ass.
That boy said they took my voucher, who gonna vouch for me? Boy, nobody voucher for you. The people took your voucher for a fucking reason.
Baby, y'all see what they're doing with that Section 8 program, man? It's crazy how they're doing everything. So if you've been on Section 8 for 20, 30, 40 years, they're telling you that you got to be out of there within like the next, I think, 60 days. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're letting you know that it's no longer. But they're giving you a 2-year grace period if you just recently own it. But the Section 8 program is being cut. You got to get out. And it's just crazy all over the world. And at the same time that they telling people they got to get off of Section 8, and they no longer be on Section 8, especially when you've been on it for that long. And when you've been passing it down, they're like, they don't care. You got to go. With that being said, they also created a law where it's illegal to be homeless. So you can't be on Section 8. It's illegal to be homeless. So they're arresting homeless people and telling them they can't be on the street, dragging their cots and their tents and stuff off the street, putting them in garbage cans. Because now they're saying it's illegal to be homeless. But yet, they're putting you off of a program that assists you. Because Section 8 ain't free. You have to pay some of that bill. They don't just give you the whole thing. Some people may get 100%, but not, baby, that's rare. Section 8 ain't free. They're putting you off a program that will assist you to pay your rent. And now they're telling you it's illegal to be homeless. So we can't make it make sense. They also messing with those people at the nursing home. They closing wings because of the Medicaid is cut. It's over with. And so basically they're telling you, go check on your people at the nursing home. This is happening in real time. This is happening in real time. If you've seen this video and you on that program, get yourself together, because you may not have received your letter yet, but you know who you are. Get yourself together. Get your family together. Do what you got to do. Go see what you can do. Rent out a room, rent out a section, or do something like that. But you guys be blessed.
Just because you haven't received a letter yet saying you're cut from the program does not mean it's all good. It does not mean that you're safe. It does not mean that you need to kick your feet up and be like, "Ooh, I'm glad it wasn't me." Because you never know. You might get a letter very soon. Sometime the end of this year, beginning of next year. Next year is when the changes really will set in stone for real, and they will really be felt even more throughout America. What's really the most sickening is the elderly people being kicked out of the nursing homes and how they're treating them too, dragging them, pushing them all on the floor, doing them dirty. The way they treat people over money in this country is insane. It's wild. When you don't got no more, they show you how they really don't like you and really don't care for you.
To the core and snap back into reality. What am I talking about? I'm talking about you are about to be paying rent like everybody else. If you are a lifelong recipient of Section 8, you will be shaken to the core. What is happening? The Trump administration is cracking down on every single one of you who are lifelong recipient of this program. There are new directives now that not only sends guidelines on how recipients are receiving Section 8, they are telling you, you're about to start put pen on paper and send those application in, because in 30 to 90 days, you are going to have no more Section 8 and pay your rent like everybody else. So there's also new directives that the Public Housing Authority to provide within 30 days full accounting of their tenants, including proof of citizenship. Yes, that means no illegal aliens on Section 8. And let me tell you, that is the best news. I am all for people who are needing help, but these programs are meant to be temporary.
I'm all for that too. No illegal alien, aka no migrant. You shouldn't be getting support if you're illegal. You should not have been able to get Section 8 food stamps. You shouldn't have been able to get no government assistance. It should have been for those that are actually citizens of the country, American citizens, not those that belong to another country. I don't know how y'all, meaning the government, I don't know how they let that go on for that long. I don't know how they let it go on at all. How are you letting illegal aliens get support? Meanwhile, there are millions of people out there that need support and still were not able to get it. Still on the waiting list, still waiting. They should have been top priority.
So, Ridge is already really good at the wallet and all the everyday carry stuff, but I was surprised with how much they...
HUD Secretary Scott Turner is turning off the programs. Yes, indeed. Paul Sperry, who is an intrepid journalist, reports developing Trump HUD is proposing a 2-year cap on fraud-infested Section 8 housing subsidies. And before you get your draws all up in a wad trying to say that it's not right with fraud, yeah, it is. Y'all tell on yourselves. We see you. You think we don't see you on TikTok on these videos talking about your Section 8 housing, and you're in the store with 3 or 4 carts full of food, and then you get home and you start cooking the food and you show all the kids in the background and stuff. Y'all in the grocery store doing the dang on twerking and shit,
doing the Watusi,
while other people are at work paying for you, sitting on your fat, gross ass. I seen this female the other day, and I'm like, golly, people are still doing this like it's the 80s again. Like, she has 9 kids, and she's pregnant with triplets. So that means before it's a wrap, she's gonna have 12 kids. Bitch, you about to struggle. I saw...
Yeah, you about to be struggling. 12 kids? First of all, man, with 12 kids, you need a big house. What, you gonna put 3 kids per room? Really 4. You gonna have to do 4 kids per room. Imagine how much she gonna have to spend on food. She gonna be working about 5-6 jobs, man. I don't know how she gonna do it, honestly, with 12 kids. Without government assistance. I don't know how you gonna make it. People with 2-3 kids can't make it right now. With great jobs, mind you.
Her other video, the subsequent video that she made, where she went from making all this food and waffles and all kinds of crap to another video because her food stamps got cut off, or at least greatly reduced. And she's making, like, she's rationing food, and you can see her rationing food out, and it's pretty bizarre.
I said that on one of my last videos, the last food stamp meltdown video. I said they're about to start rationing out the food. Look, it's already happening. They already rationing out the food. Gotta ration out the food to your kids. That's sad. Kid can't even get full. Going to sleep still hungry because you ain't got enough money to feed them. You depended on them so long. Didn't want to go out and do nothing. You thought it would be a forever thing. Y'all was living good. Like they say, high on the hog, right? Living high on the hog. Eating steak, lobster, crab legs, the whole 9. Now it's back to the basics, ain't it? Struggle meal central. It's just sad for the kids. It's bizarre, like she said. These parents got to get it together, man. Parents got to get it together.
But, you know, this is what it's come to. So Section 8 is going to be a program from now moving forward. You get on it 2 years. This is not the 80s where you get on it and you stay on it. You think we don't see you on TikTok making videos about how welfare workers. I wish I could find that woman so I could give her credit. She's a social worker, and she goes to people's houses and they talk to her about how to game the system. Like, they've been on the program on Section 8 for 30 years, and then she tells her daughter how to get on Section 8 and stay on Section 8 and get the vouchers, and then her granddaughter gets the Section 8 vouchers, and then it's just like generational poverty.
She beat me to it. I was about to say, that's like generational poverty, generational struggle. Instead of passing down a house, passing down a skill or a business, an inheritance, you know what I mean? Instead of passing something down, they're passing down the struggle. From generation to generation. My mama taught me how to game the system. My grandma taught me how to struggle. Like, who wants to struggle for life? Who wants to turn their lifestyle into a struggle? I agree with the 2 years. In 2 years, that's more than enough time to get back on your feet. 24 months. Some people become well off in 2 years. From struggling to well off. The lazy, milk the system, play it like it's a game people. Y'all done. Y'all time is up. It's run dry. To the people that need it, y'all gonna get them 2 years. I hope every single person that needs it gets those 2 years. And everybody that's been milking the system, I hope y'all get kicked off.
Not teaching them how to be truly successful, but teaching them how to continually game the American welfare system. Yeah, those days are over, bitches. It's time for you to get up and find a trade. These trade schools, some of them are going to be free. Learn a trade. Show your kids that you're not just a welfare queen. Because, see, we're getting the foreigners up out of here, and now it's going to be up to you. Section 8 is only going to be a 2-year program. You're not going to be able to be on it for 20, 30 years anymore. This is glorious to watch. We'll continue to see the freakouts on TikTok. I'm here for it, baby.
Imagine that you've been on the system all your adult life, okay? And you've been able to pay
milk the
low
system.
rent, like low rent, like $2 rent in the beginning. Then it might have went up to $50, something like that. But now you ain't gonna be able to be paying that low rent like that no more, because because now the new president, for the second time, President Trump, he like, no more Section 8 for a lifetime. Because some people have had Section 8 for a lifetime. Yeah, a lifetime. And they used to be you could pass it down a long time ago. And then it be passed down and all that. Trump said no more. They really giving notice. They're really sending notices to people about this Section 8 that they got 2 years. They really, really got 2 years. I was like, for real? One girl that I know got her notice. They said 2 years, baby, you out of here. So, y'all, Section 8 is not the Section 8 that it has been ever since it's been a long, long time. So, yeah, y'all getting them letters. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
I tell you the truth. You see Trump say you taking that Section 8? You see that? You see? That partial rent you be paying? You got to go pay full rent like everybody else. You heard me? So don't go to talk about no homeless shelters. Trump finna take that Section 8 from you, Section 9 and 10. And he need to take the sections from the club from you too. Cause that where you at with your Section 8 houses always in the...
Yo, he need to take them sections from you in the club too. Them do be the main ones in the club popping bottles. They got the sign coming out and everything. Big ballers. Pulling back up to that Section 8 crib. Some of them got Benzes and BMWs. See, these are the people that are abusing the system, and these the ones that and these are the ones he's targeting. These the ones and these are the ones he's getting rid of. She funny, but she ain't lying.
The section in the club, and go home to your Section 8, pulling up in your Infinity truck or your Benz C300, pulling right up to your Section 8 house and your C300 after you just left the section in the club popping bottles. See, that's why Trump taking your Section 8 from you. Then you'll be in Section 9 and 10. See? The joke's on you, Dust.
5 days since I have been able to eat anything. Why, may you ask? Why haven't you eaten 5 days, Courtney? Well, because Donald Trump decided to change the rules when you collect welfare benefits, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, disability, whatever it is. So I have been cut off. I have never worked a day in my life. I have 6 kids, 6 mouths to feed, 4 baby daddies. Okay.
Oh my goodness. She said she hasn't eaten in 5 days. That means all of those kids haven't eaten in 5 days. She got hella baby daddies. She's never worked a day in her life. Look like her plan backfire. It's backfiring, and I keep seeing this lady. She fed up, man. She don't know what to do, but bring it to TikTok. Complain all over TikTok. This is the worst day of her life. Her finding out that Trump passed these new bills, these new executive orders. Yeah, you about to go outside now.
I don't receive child support. I don't have any income. I've never had a job. I'm not ever going to have a job. I don't want a job. The whole point of having the kids was to get government benefits.
See? She admitted it too. She admitted it. The whole point of her having hella kids was to get government assistance. Told you, it's backfire. This is a laughing matter that people really realistically have been thinking this way for all of these years. It's been working though. They've been living off the system, could be lazy, sit on the couch eating chips all day, doing nothing. See, these are the people that have been on Facebook, all over Facebook, talking crazy in the comments, all over YouTube talking crazy in the comments because they got nothing better to do with their life. These are these people right here. This is what they look like. Her right there. If you want to know who are these people, that's them. They have been living in a completely different world than us.
I have been collecting almost $10,000 a month in government benefits for 13 years.
Wow.
And now they just strip it from me. They take it from me. How the hell am I supposed to feed my kids? How? How am I supposed to pay rent?
J-O-B?
This is bullshit. Not only that, I have over 335,000 followers, and not one person has offered to help me.
Of course not.
What's the point of having all these followers if they don't care, right? It is your responsibility as a taxpayer to support me and my kids. So, support me.
Soft, fresh, fast. This is the best tasting soft pretzel that you'll ever have, right?
This the second lady that I heard say that. They real life feel like they got the entitled mindset. Since they took away my government assistance and y'all follow me, y'all need to help me. Why are they following? They really following you to laugh at you and keep up with your shenanigans. Were you helping any of those followers with food or benefits? You was getting over 10 bands a month in benefits. Did you help your followers out? Nah. But now you want to ask for help.
I was about to say I don't need to know who need to hear this, but I actually do know who need to hear this. Section 8 recipients, please come to the front. Stop calling these complexes, asking them if they accept Section 8. Okay? A lot of people is not accepting Section 8 because of, of various different reasons. We're not even going to dwell on that part because that's not what this video is about. Why is no one accept Section 8? Why are you still on Section 8? I personally think that Section 8 has done such a disservice for people nowadays that nobody can even live in today's regular world. I mean, once I became an adult, Section 8 was so saturated with everybody. The waiting list was so out of this world. I wasn't about to sit at home trying to live with my mother waiting for Section 8 to put me on the list. Imagine if I would have still been waiting today. I have had my own apartment since the age of like 24 years old. I got about 12 years in the game, and I've had a few help from a few programs here and there throughout the years. I have accepted help from social services too. But the difference between accepting help and being dependent on the help is two different things.
Right,
Y'all
right.
have become so dependent on Section 8 that a lot of y'all will just sit there and just either let it run out or be put out or be put off of Section 8 instead of finding a job and obtaining an apartment that you can afford. Rent is no longer going to be $300-400 anymore. You need to get out there and get in the paint. I feel like if Donald Trump is only going to allow older and people to be on Section 8, it should be that way. If you are at least like 55, 60 years and older, you should be on Section 8. If you have a disability, you should be on Section 8. But unfortunately, the people that are on Section 8 are able-bodied people that can work, get a job, and get that out there, make their own money, and pay rent. There are affordable apartments out there. Some are in, more impoverished ghetto neighborhoods, but if that's what you can afford, keep your head down until you can get something better. People are out here getting whole evictions on their record when they haven't paid rent in 20 years. You can imagine being on Section 8 for 20 years and you ain't saved a dime. You didn't understand the assignment was to cop and hold, not cop and blow. You was supposed
Right, you were supposed to get on your feet. If you can't get on your feet in 20 years, you haven't saved not a penny. You haven't saved up you should have a bankroll. You should have stacks on deck for real. You should be good after 20 years. You know, some people invest into real estate or invest into the stock market and they get rich within 20 years. I'm talking about some of y'all been on Section 8 for 2 decades and still don't got nothing to your name or nothing to show for it. You definitely missed the assignment. You thought you could live on it until you get up out of here, man, until your time is up, until your clock expires. I mean, you might have seen your relatives do it, but look, it's different now. It's a program to help you get on your feet, not to cripple you and make it to where you never get on your feet. That's the issue. She right. Most people were dependent on it. They got comfortable on the system. They got used to it.
to save your money up to buy a house so that you could get out of the game. Section 8 wasn't designed to take care of y'all for the rest of y'all lives. For really? At one point in my life, I used to be upset. Like, why can't I get food stamps? Why can't I get this? Why can't I get that? I had to understand y'all lives. For really? At one point in my life, I used to be upset. Like, why can't I get food stamps? Why can't I get this? Why can't I get that? I had to understand that I didn't want to be sit in a box where I'm barely making it so that I can get governmental assistance. I'd rather have an uncapped earning than be capped at a certain amount, or I'll lose my food stamps, or I'll lose my Section 8, or I'll lose. No. Y'all have sat back and let the government, like, literally bend you over and do the bending. Now there's a vast majority of you guys that are going to be homeless, that are being put off of Section 8, that can't find a place that even takes Section 8. Wake up and smell the coffee beans. Trump is getting rid of a lot of things, and if you don't get with the program, you're going to be outside, homeless, broke, naked, and cold.
And
There's no
starving.
way in the world that you had all this time to either save some money or get your life together, and now you homeless and you ain't paid rent in 20 years. Make
That's
it
a
make
shame.
sense.
That's a
The
shame.
program was just designed to help. Help. It was a stepping stool. But y'all sat there and used that program as a crutch. And now the crutch has been removed. Y'all act like y'all legs don't work. What you doing? At home. Watching Maury, Jerry Springer, chilling, watching Judge Judy. What was you doing with your time when you was on Section 8 for all them years? You ain't got no money saved up? Oh, no. So don't him sit here and be like, oh, it's Trump's fault. He got rid of Section 8. Oh, it's this person's fault that I'm holding. No, it's your fault. Because you wasn't standing on your own 2 feet and everybody grown should be holding their own. Now that the tough is getting, your ass better get going. Go find you a job in a place you can afford because you got this. Don't play the blame game. It's already done. Okay? The deeds is already done. How are you going to maneuver and handle? Only thing on your mind is should be getting your shit together. Y'all wasting entirely too much time seeing, oh, who said accept Section 8 and sitting on people waiting lists while y'all sitting here homeless or in shelters and shit. Get a job and pay regular rent. That's it. That's literally the answers to your problem.
Facts. Should none of y'all be complaining? If you've been on the system for over 5 years, 10 years, but definitely 20 years, you shouldn't be complaining. You shouldn't be saying it's all Trump's fault. It's time to be accountable for your own actions or the lack thereof. You not taking any action. Put no action behind doing anything. Passing down generational poverty is crazy. That's insane. For real. That makes no sense. That's ridiculous. You should feel ashamed of yourself, for real. Now, if you got a disability, if you are elderly, yeah, you good. You should be on the system. There's a reason for you to be on it, especially the way retirement work. You don't really make enough to afford a proper life. Most people. But if you are able to work, I get it. It's not a lot of jobs out here. You could start something for yourself. You could pick up a side hustle. You could pick up a trade. You could learn a trade. Especially if you've been living off the system. You could have saved a little here, a little there, and you could have had a nice amount saved up. Most people will like 5, 10, 15, 20 years to save without having to pay for rent. Ask a normal working middle class employee, hey, if y'all didn't have to pay rent for 20 years, what would you do? I bet it's all type of answers you're going to hear. What people would have done and how grateful they would have been and how well off they would be right now. And we for sure would not be homeless or facing eviction. Family, let me know what y'all think about this video. Trump making changes. Yeah, the people that's on the system not going to like it. But y'all can no longer abuse the system. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing more you can do. Appreciate y'all for watching. Peace to my Hebrew fam.
My name is Carla Basadre. I'm originally from Peru.
So Donald Trump and the food stamp office really played in my face yesterday, because why was the food stamp app saying that I no longer qualify?
The Trump administration will be cutting food stamps for 2.4 million people as the rules for food stamps is widening. You know, there is a massive situation happening in the U.S. as people are saying that seems like EBT, you know, convenience stores, stuff like that, it's kind of getting out of control because the fact that you could use a lot of these food stamps to buy snacks, hot Cheetos, energy drinks, soda, stuff like that. You know, you do know that food stamps originally were made so people don't actually starve to death in the United States. And you can buy steak, chicken, veggies, but you just can't buy snacks. And the Trump administration is literally telling states to do not let people with food stamps buy junk food. You could only buy like milk, eggs, veggies, groceries, fresh fruit, stuff like that. Honestly, in most countries around the world, people want to have these great benefits. You know, you get like steak, chicken, eggs, veggies, and you're still pretty mad about it. I don't really get it. You know, like the majority of countries in the world are literally starving. Like they wish they could buy steak, meat, and eggs and stuff like that. So you already got a few states that signed this, and there's even some people out there saying that this has never happened before under Republican or Democrat administrations. But now there's big changes happening. You can't just be walking to a convenience store, gas station, buy a bunch of chips and junk food with like EBT. Okay, this is an older video, but this woman says that, you know, they get $3,000 in food stamps and doesn't have to pay the bills. And now with the new rules, you can't buy anything. It seems like a lot of people are really frustrated about this. A lot of Americans, they want to go back to the old days where they get a lot of food stamps and they can buy whatever they want. And this person says, I know this may shock you, but if you get a job, go buy your own chips and feel proud of yourself. This person says, I wish I could buy steak, chicken, and veggies. These people just have it too easy. And a lot of people are just not happy. You know, this person says, I can only buy steak. You have no idea how angry that made me. So right now, we're going to be seeing big changes happening to this. And honestly, the U.S. government has been shelling out billions of dollars on like food stamps and EBT, stuff like that. When in reality, it really shouldn't. Let's see what happens. What do you guys think? And check out some of these videos. A lot of Americans are not happy about big cuts happening in SNAP.
A lot of y'all finna feel how we been feeling all these years because Trump new bill came into effect on the 1st. And he cutting 2 million y'all off stamps. Now, mind y'all, when y'all started acting funny with us and didn't want to, you know, sell your yamps, we let y'all live. We didn't say anything. When people started acting funny with me, I was like, okay, I chalked up to the chin. I just had to balance my money and redo my budget. I couldn't buy the things I wanted to buy. Now y'all finna feel how we feel. We don't want y'all get on here crying, asking for no CAs. Because we've been doing this for years. Y'all have fun at the grocery store. Because we going to be looking at y'all when y'all be in the line. And y'all be asking us, do you got? No, we don't got a thing. Rethink your choices. Learn your lesson. The next time you need me, I ain't gonna be there. Okay?
Let's talk about why people getting cut off of food stamps don't just affect people on SNAP, that it affects all of our asses. When people lose access to food, it causes desperation. And desperate people make desperate choices. If you ain't never had to worry about where your next meal gonna come from or how the hell you gonna feed your kids, and all of a sudden you do, imagine what you will or won't do. Imagine that kind of pressure. It is going to push people towards things that they would never normally do. Crime is going to rise, theft in grocery stores is going to go up, and people who ain't never had to live off of beanies and weenies and oodles and noodles, they might just themselves over this. And guess who's going to cover those costs? And I'm not just talking about the higher prices at the register. I'm talking about the peace of mind. I'm talking about having to dash your ass to your car with your grocery bags out of fear that somebody's going to knock your head off for a loaf of bread. It's not about hunger. It's about survival. And when survival is threatened, then the community pays the price. So when you think that food stamps being cut doesn't affect you, think again. A hungry neighbor creates ripples that affects us all. But comment below, what do you think? Should we be cutting, supporting, or finding better solutions?
Oh, and to the 1,000 and some people that unfollowed me this year, don't come back now. They done started cutting people on EBT, aka food stamps already. Remember how we thought it was a game and we thought it was well, I didn't. Remember how y'all thought it was a game and y'all thought it was a joke? Actually, it has already begun. It has begun. So when I was telling y'all to go ahead and start your garden, start your food forest, start your farms and all that using the EBT, y'all didn't want to listen to me. So to them 1,000 and some people that unfollowed me, I wish I knew who you were so I could block you. Because now you're going to really wish you stayed on my page. But I got some big news for everybody else that has been so supportive. I got some big news for y'all today. Like, seriously, I just got to do the finishing touches on everything and buckle down. But I'm excited. It's my time, y'all. It is my time to teach y'all. Y'all got no choice but to listen now.
I'm over here at the store, y'all. And, you know, they done cut a bitch's food stamp short, right? But y'all know I ain't the only one. And I know it's bad. When all the chip mates is gone, but you got a full variety of these bitches right here. But the chip mates is gone. 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 Damn. Y'all couldn't leave a bitch just one pack of chip mates? Y'all know we struggling out here.
So I'm going to speak on the topic of the food stamps that, you know, everybody posting about. You know, a lot of single parents, they are upset about it because their food stamps have been. This is just my think piece on it because, like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with who voted for who. But this has been my mindset since my early 20s. Now, I am not no better than any other single mother out there. My kids are now grown. They're about to be 21 and 19. I just turned 40 this year. I was on food stamps and I was on Section. The thing about it is I worked as a CNA full-time and I still qualified for those assistance. Now, let's rewind the clock back. When I was getting food stamps, Section 8, and my daughter was also getting SSI because as an infant, she was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension. So my daughter was getting a check. I had just moved to the code. And I think, you know, after me and my neighbor, you know, was having conversations and I told her about my daughter getting SSI. And you know what the first thing that she said that came out her mouth? She was like, well, if she getting SSI and you on Section 8, you getting food stamps, why are you working? Now, this was my think piece in my early 20s. I said, because the government can take that stuff anytime they get ready. They can cut her check off anytime they get ready. They can cut the Section 8 off at any time when they get ready. They can cut the food stamps off at any time when they get ready. So me, I always held down a job. Now, yes, like I said, I was that parent with no support system. I was working night shift at the hospital. And my kids, when they got a certain age, because I lived 2 minutes away from the hospital, they was at home by themselves at night. Call me what you want. I don't give a damn, but I did what I had to. And on my lunch breaks, I would come and check on them. They was in bed. They got themselves off to school. Now, I'm not in any way saying that that was okay for me to do, but I did what I had to do. Me working night freed up time in the daytime. If they got sick at school, all they had to do was call me. I can go get them. If my kids had appointments or if I had doctor's appointments, I could just take them. I don't have to take off of work or none of that. So I'm not promoting leave your kids at home. We always latchkey kids coming up. But what I'm saying is, as parents, we gonna do what we have to do to survive. So y'all out there, I know it's jobs out there. Like I said, I ain't judging because I had got the assistance, but I have always. And there are so many ways of getting a bag. By me working as a CNA for as long as I have been working, and I started TikTok Shop back in 2023 when it first started. When I say TikTok Shop, not only was I able to completely just pay my bills and my checks just be my checks, because yes, I still work that. It has helped me put my daughter through school. Now, I know we're still on probation with TikTok, and I'm going to grind it out until I can't grind it out no more. But I'm just here to say, y'all, do what y'all got to do for y'all kids. You know, go to work, try to find a work from home job. I know it's not going to be easy, especially for work from home jobs, but
if you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for Chase's new program where you could access up to.
There are options.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
Now, I'm so glad you young ladies are seeing now what's going on was really real with these food stamps. So many women are in an uproar about their food stamps and how they're going to feed their children because you have so many of them. And then you look at this TikTok app and you see how these men downrating y'all and talking about y'all, talking about if y'all hadn't had all these children and what do you expect? And not once have they came to y'all rescue and said something like this. Well, if you know, the baby dads need to stand up and help these women take care of their children. Nah, they ain't gonna talk. They ain't gonna speak up for you. They just gonna talk about y'all and how stupid y'all was for having kids by these men. They gonna tell y'all something like this. You should have picked the right men. You should have had better choices men. But I'm gonna tell you this. Now you'll learn to keep your legs closed. Stop letting these jokers sleep with you, impregnate you, and now you making videos because you can't afford to feed them. And guess what them jokers doing? Out there spreading somebody else's legs, doing the same thing, and making videos about you and how you should have made the right choices in men. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you facts. Stop sleeping with these jokers now. And I'm glad the government doing what they doing. These men gonna be hurt. Cause you women gonna see what's going on now when you don't get no help. You think you ain't get no help from the man, your baby daddies. Boy, look what's going on now. Cause the government cutting everything out. And I just made a video. God dog, they even cutting the Job Corps. Stop sleeping with these men, and then they can't make no videos. They gonna start making videos about how hard it is with them working 2 jobs because they gotta take care of family and their kids and step up to the plate. I wanna see these videos when these men start talking about how hard they gotta work when you women stop opening y'all legs. That's what I wanna see.
This video goes out to all the people that went out and voted for Donald Trump. Especially all you people receiving EBT, Medicaid, food stamps. Y'all voted for Donald Trump, and now, guess what? We got to go back to work. To qualify for EBT and food stamps, you have to be working 30 hours a week. I got 5 kids. I can't work 30 hours a week. Who's going to take care of my kids? Y'all done fucked around and found out, now fucked it up for everybody. You mean to tell me I got to go back to work and I got 5 kids? Who's going to take care of these 5 kids? I got $72 to last me on this EBT card, and then it's done, and I gotta find a job. So, thanks a lot, and fuck you to anybody that voted for Donald Trump. Shame on you. Now we gotta go back to work. What am I gonna do?
I
going to tell you how the Big Beautiful Bill will affect food stamps, also known as the SNAP program, and when these changes will come into effect, because not all of them are going to happen right away. The Big Beautiful Bill will reduce nutrition funding, which includes the SNAP program, by $186 billion, billion with a B, by the year 2034. This program will also force states to shoulder at least 5% of the SNAP benefits costs starting in the year 2028. This is deliberate. I'm going to get to this in a minute. Currently, the program is 100% federally funded and has been since its creation in 1939. States will be forced to find millions, even billions of extra dollars in their budget, or be forced to leave the SNAP program entirely, cutting off millions of Americans from this vital assistance. In addition to this, more than 5 million Americans will be cut from SNAP benefits due to the new work provision requirements. This is only going to harm children, veterans, disabled individuals, and seniors who live off of these benefits. The work provision requirements state that you need to work or volunteer at least 20 hours per week in order to qualify for your benefits. Currently, these work requirements apply to people between the ages of 18 and 54, as long as they don't have any dependents or disabilities. But the Big Beautiful Bill has raised this age range to include individuals up to the age of 64, as well as required parents with children over the age of 14 to meet these work requirements. If parents fail to meet the work requirements and lose their SNAP benefits, their children will still qualify for and receive their SNAP benefits. Roughly 900,000 people in this age group will be affected. Veterans, people experiencing homelessness, and previous foster youth must also now meet these work requirements. About 270,000 individuals will be affected by this. Around 600,000 individuals may lose some of their monthly SNAP benefit amount due to changes in how utility expenses are calculated. This bill also limits SNAP eligibility to U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents only. Previously, certain immigrants, refugees, people seeking asylum, survivors of domestic violence, and victims of trafficking were able to qualify for SNAP benefit. They no longer qualify. Because of the Big Beautiful Bill, more people will have to work or volunteer in order to meet these qualifications and in order to keep their life-saving benefits. People who were previously exempt from these benefits will now have to prove that they meet the work requirements in order to keep said benefits. States can now only waive work requirements in areas that have an unemployment rate of over 10%. This makes it much harder for states to help people who cannot find work. Around 1.1 million people who live in high unemployment areas will now no longer qualify for waivers. Child nutrition programs such as school meals and summer electronic benefits transfer, which provide families with the funds to afford their children's lunches during the summer months, will also suffer at SNAP benefit funding cuts. This bill will also eliminate SNAP Ed, which is the primary funding source for City Harvest nutrition and education programming. This program teaches people the skills and knowledge to prepare nutritious, budget-friendly meals with the free produce that SNAP provides. These food aid cuts will also lead to job losses and hit gross domestic product by state. Trump's bill puts 40 million Americans at greater risk of food insecurity. I'm gonna say that one more fucking time. The Big Beautiful Bill puts 40 million Americans at greater risk of food insecurity. If you currently receive SNAP benefits, they are unlikely to change immediately. New work requirements and utility allowance cuts could go into effect right away, but states will still need time to update their systems. Other changes will be phased in over the next few years. It is intentional that some of these changes, specifically the requirement that states take on 5% of the SNAP benefits costs, will not take place until 2028. They want to blame the results of this bill on the next president, especially if that president is a Democrat. SNAP helps so many low-income people, veterans, senior citizens, disabled individuals, and others feed themselves and their families. For every meal that the food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. SNAP not only reduces food insecurity, but stimulates the local economy. If you think that people who live off of food stamps are just lazy people who don't want to get a fucking job, you clearly don't know how SNAP works. In part 2, I'm going to give you a brief history of the food stamps program, as well as why it's important.
If someone you know or you depend on food stamps, pay close attention. Major changes are coming under Trump's Big Beautiful Bill. Let me break down what's changing, when it starts, and how it could affect your SNAP benefits. Now, here's the timeline. October 1st, 2026, state will begin tightening SNAP eligibility. That means stricter income checks, faster recertification, and more documentation just to stay qualified. Now, on December 31st, 2026, the new work rule begins. If you're 19 or 64 and don't have a documented disability, you will need to work, volunteer, or be in some type of job training at least 80 hours per month to keep your benefits. This applies to parents of school-aged children. Unless you have a baby or a toddler at home or some type of medical exemption, you will be expected to meet those work requirements too. Now, October 1st, 2027, states that make too many mistakes managing the SNAP program will face financial penalties. For example, New York had one of the highest error rates in 2023. Under the new law, they could be forced to repay up to 15% of program costs, which could result in title enforcement for everyone. This isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. If you're able-bodied, now is the time to plan ahead. These changes are real. They are coming. Stay tuned. Like, follow, share for the next updates. I will definitely keep you guys informed.
Big mold companies hate when you do this, but they can't do a damn thing about it. This device helps eliminate hidden mold and toxic air, making you breathe the cleanest air possible on Earth. It's already been sold out multiple times online because it's been a top recommendation from air quality specialists. And now the company behind it is cutting out the middlemen after selling over 1.5 million units in the last 90 days. All without those big retailers who just jack.
Just experienced my 2-week strike of
So I'm a used car dealer, and right now even $2,500 cars are not selling on my lot.
It is July 19th, and I just experienced my 2-week strike of no sales.
What happens when a car just doesn't sell?
So recently we went over people talking about how difficult it was to sell their home in this economy because of how slow the market is. And honestly, the same thing could be said with salesmen at dealerships when it comes to vehicles. Shockingly, less and less people are able to afford a $1,000 monthly payment on a pickup truck or a plain SUV. We're not even talking about the luxury market that gets way higher. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. We have a lot of examples to go over along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
We haven't done anything. I think, what is the 10th, and we've sold 7 cars, 6 cars, somewhere in that ballpark. I got one that I can't even give away. I was on vacation for a week, talked to my brother. He said, hey, we sold the Infiniti today. I'm like, great, that car needed to go. And I get back, and it's still here. So we didn't sell it. The lady that called on it called all the way from Hawaii. It's a 2021 Infiniti QX50. It's got like 90,000 miles, 95,000 miles. I've marked it down on the internet all the way to $16,500. It's so cheap, a lady that can't even drive it to where she is living called us on it. Can't even get to her. I'm probably going to have to mark it down again. It's still here. It's going to hit 90 days here probably in the next week or so. And it has got to go. Right now it is rough. I mean, we can't give anything away. Unbelievable.
So we're just going to go right over to the comment section. Can't give it away, then proceeds to ask for $16,500 for it. I thought that one was pretty funny. It has way too many miles, 95,000 for a rebadged Nissan. Nobody's trying to get into a CVT transmission at 90,000 miles. $16,000 for a car with 90,000 miles isn't that cheap. Drop it down to $8,500 and it just might sell. Overpriced, everybody still thinks it's 2022. But these salesmen can't land a deal to save their lives. They can't give it away. Oh, man.
So I'm a used car dealer, and right now even $2,500 cars are not selling on my lot. And for you, that means prices are going to come down. And on a lot of these cars that you see behind me, we've marked them down $500, $1,000, and we still can't get them to move. Some of them we've even got to the point where we're breaking even and they still won't sell. It's been so slow for us lately that I haven't bought a single car in 2 weeks. Yeah, check this out. So all these cars up here are for sale, and down here where we park our cars for recon, ghost town, right? All our cars are ready up there because we've actually had time to get them ready. We haven't been turning and burning, and it's a good thing right now, but I mean, I would rather see way more cars down here than I would up here, because this right here means I'm not selling anything. But even with all of this going on, I don't want you to buy a car from me right now. In fact, I don't want you to buy a car from any car dealer right now because I believe it's going to get much, much worse for us.
So this example is a bit different than what we're going to see throughout this video, because if you watch my type of car videos, you have most likely seen this person online. He is a pretty big YouTuber, so he doesn't have to rely on selling cars as much as the other dealers and salesmen we're going to see. But we could head over to the comments. Let's be honest, the $2,500 car is really a $500 car. Times have changed. People don't have the money anymore. Everything keeps going up in price and living isn't cheap. $2,500 but 220,000 miles on the dash. And we could take a look at even more examples of just overpriced vehicles.
As you can see, I'm at CarMax right now, and this lot is entirely empty. There is not one person on this entire lot that does not work here. Now granted, it's a Tuesday at 12:30, but there's also only 2 customers inside. And I'm about to show you exactly why that there is nobody here. Well, on top of the fact that everybody has negative equity. This right here is a 2024 Accord Hybrid. This thing has 58,000 miles, and this thing is $28,000. First of all, how do you even get that many miles in 2 years? This thing is damn near brand new, and this thing has 58,000 miles. And here is another example. This is a 2019. This is the old body style. This one has 11,000 more miles and is only $4,000 less, but 5 years older. This doesn't make any sense. This car was $23,000 brand new in 2018. I remember because I bought it then.
Having a dead phone sucks. It's missed moments, missed calls, missed opportunities.
Even with some of the news recently that car prices are starting to go down somewhat, or at least not constantly rising like we've seen for years now, there are countless examples of vehicle models and entire brands that are still wildly overpriced. Like houses, people are starting to realize car ownership is a trap. That's why I'm still driving my 2017 Camry that's paid off, riding this car till the wheels fall off. People were buying cars to put on Turo and do deliveries. When the miles get high, they sell it. And I would say both Turo and Uber Eats DoorDash is not nearly as lucrative as it was a few years ago. So now these car lots basically look like museums because nothing's moving.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealers are overflowing with inventory, and things just got even worse. I mean, seriously, overflowing with inventory. To the point where they're having to get overflow lots for all the trucks and cars and SUVs that they can't sell. Jeep, for example, has increased their price 61% over the past 6 years, which is a steep price increase that a lot of customers can't afford. Things have gotten so bad that dealers are even hitting me up asking what they need to do to sell more cars, and I told them I would ask the community. And it's not just Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Ford, with their F-Series pickup truck, just had a 6% sales decline year over year. And that's while Ford's been advertising 1.9% APR financing for 72 months on the remaining 2023 Ford F-150s. So yeah, what should I tell this dealer? Should I tell him $10,000 off on Ram 1500s? I mean, seriously, what do people want to see? Because these cars got so expensive so quickly, now the prices have to come back down.
Take the tech BS out of trucks and make them more affordable. Everything seems to turn into an iPhone on wheels now. Trucks shouldn't be over $30,000. They lost their target buyers trying to cater to the wealthy. Buy a pickup or buy a Mercedes? That shouldn't be a choice. Nobody wants an unreliable car, so maybe make a decent vehicle that's not ridiculously overpriced. We could go right over to a set of screenshots that I found. 5 slowest selling trucks of July 2025. Number 5, the Silverado EV, 130-day market supply. EV trucks are a trend in this list. Number 4, the Jeep Gladiator, 138 days. People just don't trust the Stellantis quality at this point. Number 3, the Ford Lightning, 141 market day supply. EV trucks are a hard sell. Number 2, the Sierra EV, 196 days market supply. And number 1 that I actually am kind of surprised about, the Ram 2500, 200-day market supply. $75,000 for a Ram isn't working out, which I do understand, and I know it is a Stellantis vehicle with a ton of reliability issues, but some people like a specific type of truck. So with it being a 2500, I thought more people would have it as a genuine work truck, and in turn can write off the depreciation because it is a very heavy vehicle, but maybe it is just so unreliable or outclassed by other heavy work trucks that just absolutely nobody wants it. Some of the comments, I still haven't seen a Silverado EV yet or a Sierra EV. Well, I didn't even know the Sierra EV existed until I was finding clips for a video that I made previously with people regretting buying electric vehicles. Had no idea it was even a thing. And since then, I've seen only one on the road so far. I believe I've seen maybe 2 or 3 of the Silverado EVs and a handful of the Ford Lightnings as well, but still basically none are on the road, especially if you're comparing to normal pickups. There's really no reason to go with the 2500 when a 3500 is under $1,000 more and has better resale value, not to mention the additional capacity. So there you go. I don't know why the 2500 would be as expensive as the larger 3500. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Ram kind of shot themselves in the foot there. But we could head over to an example where even the dealerships are paying way too much money for their own vehicles they're trying to sell.
A dealer reached out to me on TikTok or Instagram, can't remember. They have a 2021 Mercedes G550 that they have had for about a year and a half. It's been sitting on the lot. They haven't had any bites, and it's because they overpaid, I think, like $50,000 or $60,000 for the car. They're trying to wholesale it, knowing that they're going to lose money. So let's give them a call and see how much we can get it for.
So it's a 2021 Mercedes-Benz G-Class. It's the G550 4MATIC. Has the night package on it with the AMG package. It's got just over 5,000 miles on it. Pretty nice spec G-Wagon.
So how long has it been sitting on your lot?
For about a year.
Have you contacted anybody else about it?
I haven't reached out to any Mercedes dealerships. I've reached out to a couple other higher end used car dealers. A few offers on it, but nothing that I would kind of jump on.
What are you looking to get for it?
I'll be honest with you, we own it for a good amount. We have about 155 in it, which is it's high. I'm aware of that.
That's G63 territory right there.
It is G63 territory. You're not wrong. One of our buyers might have just got a little excited when he saw it.
So this was during the time where G-Wagons were wildly over MSRP. Brand new, used, it didn't matter because a ton of people were making a lot of money and you're able to write off that vehicle as well. But now you could see the consequences when the dealership paid $155,000 for a G-Wagon that's not even the AMG. It's just going to sit and rot on the lot. And there are tons of videos like this of salesmen saying that there's nobody here to sell to.
It is July 19th, and I just experienced my 2-week strike of no sale. Yes, you heard that right. 2 weeks of no sale. Last time I sold a car was July 5th.
Now we'll just go right into the next one with somebody that we've already talked about previously when it comes to pretty shady salesmen and dealership tactics.
Soft, fresh, and hot right out of your oven at home. This is a signature soft pretzel from the Pretzel Company.
For all you guys that are talking about it's a very slow month in the car business, stop it with the negativity. Stop getting in your head. Realize that 1 week can make a month and 1 day can make a week. Keep doing what you're doing every day. Make your phone calls, send your emails, send your texts. Follow up with your repeat customers. Follow up with your repeat customers to get referrals. Do what other people are not doing. Drop your business cards off at credit unions. Buy them lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever it is. Tell them that the next time someone's looking for a car, send them your way. Go to your service department, try to pull customers out of service to sell them a car.
This guy just keeps going on and on. I mean, just hound and harass everybody. If their car's getting fixed in the dealership, try to get them to buy a brand new one. All the repeat customers that you already put a bunch of negative equity on them, let's see if they'll do it again, just so you get your commission check. Now, previously, we've gone over a couple clips on this channel from this guy. One of them up on screen complaining about the receptionist at his dealership, basically admitting to the customer that was about to buy a car from him, saying that it was a terrible deal. They were going to lose a whole ton of money, so they end up backing out and saving a lot in the long term. And this guy was all mad about it, complaining, getting angry on camera. There's another one of a constant repeat customer. I believe it was like 8 to 10 cars almost every single year. They would come in and buy the newest model, rolling the negative equity over and over and over again until literally no bank would give them a loan, because that's how upside down they were. And he was completely okay doing it because he's getting that check every single time. These people are not your friends.
This is a trick 80% of dealers pull with used cars because people fall for it. Atlantic Chevrolet is advertising this Honda Pilot for $32,900, but they are not going to let you buy the car for this price. They're going to charge fees because they know most people are not going to verify online. They're going to come into the dealer looking for that price, and they're going to bump them. Now, when you try to verify online through text or email, they're going to make it very hard. They're going to divert. They won't answer the simple question of what they charge on top of that price. Now, when I called, I spoke to the right person. They told me this price includes a $2,000 down payment, so it's $34,900. It's not $32,900, and you must finance with the dealership. So until y'all learn to shop online like pros, they're going to keep doing this because people keep falling for it. FTC, U.S. Attorney General, Cars.com, Car Gurus, all these marketplaces, y'all need to change the way these dealers are allowed to advertise. That's like looking at a TV, finding on Amazon, you go to buy it for $400 and they say, oh, by the way, you owe us another $400.
So not only were there extra fees added on top of it that wasn't in the listed price, you had to finance it. You couldn't walk in with the cash and hand it to them and leave with the vehicle. This is a lot more common than you think.
Lexus dealership is going viral for all the wrong reasons after the guys over at CarEdge brokered a deal to negotiate $7,000 off the price of a vehicle on their client's behalf. The CarEdge guys were happy, their client was happy, and the Lexus dealer was about to sell a new vehicle, so, they should have been happy too. But once the deal got into the finance office, the finance manager decided to add on almost $21,000 in extra fees, and that's on top of the $800 doc fee. Talk about swinging for the fences. If we look at the contract here, we can see that the vehicle itself was being sold for $62,000. Then we have a maintenance contract for $4,995, an extended service contract for $8,995, Toyota Motor Insurance Service for $1,200, whatever that is. And then this one is awesome. $1,240 for an optional sales commission. Finally, we have another $4,495 for tire and wheel coverage. The add-ons end up to be something like 34-ish% of the price of the vehicle itself.
You really can't make this kind of stuff up. Optional sales commission is equivalent to adding a tip. This should be illegal. Get rid of the dealerships, turn them into service centers with a new vehicle delivery area. And I know that's what some companies are trying to do, like Carvana, even though I've heard a lot of issues with them as well. What happened to the days where you could get a car for below MSRP? And it really is like a competition for a lot of these salesmen, how much money they can make off of a single customer. Now, we went over this clip previously. You look happier. Thanks. I just sold a single mom a car $10,000 over sticker. Now, this was a TikTok trend, so I don't know if this was actually serious, but many car salesmen took part in this trend, selling widely known, very unreliable vehicles for way too much money and doing this kind of video. But this particular one had some real life consequences.
Out of Racine County, as a car salesman is now out of a job after backlash from a now deleted viral TikTok video he recently posted. This TikTok, originally posted by @KennySells, the caption says, "You look happier. Thanks, I just sold a single mom a car, $10,000 over sticker." That video sparked some serious outrage and has now been deleted. Additionally, the man, Kenny Rua, has now been fired, but the dealership is still the target of negative reviews.
So whether it actually happened or not, most likely I think he just wanted to take part in the trend. He ended up getting canned for it. There's a lot of clips of people getting fired because of TikToks as well. Here's one of a Mercedes-Benz salesman that ended up getting fired because he was live streaming while he was working the sales process, voices of the customers, basically everything. And I don't know why it's so much of a surprise, especially at a place like Mercedes-Benz, supposed to be nice and fancy and luxury cars, right? That their manager did not like it and he ended up getting canned too. But we could switch back over to the main problem of why these dealerships are taking a hit.
Because 6 months ago when these first came out, no dealer was doing discounts. They were like, oh, no, it's a new redesign. We're not going to discount or anything. Yeah, turns out, made a big mistake. Made a huge mistake, actually. And now they're just loaded with inventory. Look at all those. Look at all the Toyota Tacomas. I mean, there's like 30 or 40 of them just loaded to the brim. And yeah, and everybody wants the Toyota Corolla Crosses and the Camrys and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, the manufacturer, Toyota, and every manufacturer, they would rather sell these to the dealerships and sell them to the public. Because at the end of the day, this is what makes more money. And look at the build quality. We go up to them. This is not built in Japan. Look at this seamless line. I don't know if you can see, it gets a lot tighter right there. Look at the gap. Look at the gap. You don't see that with other Toyota products built in, let's say, Japan.
And we're looking at one of the manufacturers that overall is supposed to be one of the most reliable. And if they're having problems because of the quality issues like this and the prices that they're trying to sell it at, how bad do you think other manufacturers are looking right now? A comment from you guys that adds into the problem of buying modern vehicles. I will not own a car that removes features after a year and expects a subscription. I know for a fact Toyota does it. We went over a video where a Camry cost an extra $500 a year to have every one of the features, even if you buy the top trim level. Basically every brand does this now, and I guess it's just completely okay. But when you start seeing absolutely insane incentives to try to get these cars off the lot, you know that these dealers are hurting.
So right now at Gresham CDJR, you can lease this 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S for just $39 a month. There's $3,999 due at signing. It's a 36-month lease that allows for 5,000 miles a year. Now, on the surface, this seems like an incredible lease deal, but let's break down the intricacies of this deal, and let me tell you whether or not I think this is a good lease deal in terms of value.
So he goes through everything, but the only time it would really be a good deal is if you barely drive in your day-to-day life, because we could take a look at the comments. 5,000 miles a year. Cool, so you could drive it to the grocery store a few times and then that's it. Perfect, I could drive it back to the dealership for repairs. 5,000 miles a year, ha ha ha. That was basically all of the comments. So I mean, maybe if you work from home and you don't really go anywhere in your life, maybe it won't be the worst thing ever, but again, it is a Stellantis vehicle, so you're probably going to be at the repair center quite a bit. Now, I just got advertised this clip recently and I thought it was very interesting, the wording that they used to try to convince you to buy this very expensive SUV.
I feel so confident driving this Expedition everywhere. When we go off-road, we can use the terrain management system. The ground clearance is 10.6 inches. Available forward Blue Cruise allows you to drive hands-free. And the flex-powered console gives you extra storage space.
So this obviously was from TikTok, and you only have basically a second or two to try to get somebody's attention, especially when it is a sponsored post. So right off the bat, when it said, I feel so confident driving this, makes me think of a couple factors, this being a large SUV, the Expedition, the Suburban, the Escalade, every mom dream car, right? You have one kid and now you need to drive around in a school bus. But also saying, I feel so confident driving it, when basically all of them have pretty bad reliability issues. I don't know, it seems like they're subconsciously trying to say that this is more reliable. I feel confident. Everything's going to be all right. You know, let's pay $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for this vehicle. I don't know. I feel like I'll just let it sit.
And this is the aerial from American Signature.
Are those drawers?
Mm-hmm. Underbed story.
What happens when a car just doesn't sell? Someone asked me that, and there's lots of answers to that question if it's new versus used, but let's just talk about new cars. So when a new car just never sells, which hasn't been a problem the last few years because of the car shortage, but there has been times where it was. And it's most likely a car that is like something we have a ton of, Sentras, Altimas. There's a few things that we could do. One is put them into loaner car service, meaning our service department obviously services about 1,600 people a month. And sometimes people need a car to drive if their car is going to be in the shop for more than a day or so. So like these two cars are good examples. We probably had multiple Altimas in that color. They were probably over 300 days on the lot. Sentra as well. They're not the hottest selling car. And then on new cars, sometimes we'll sell them to rental car companies, or we just wait it out and they eventually do sell.
Okay, so a couple things on this one with a Nissan dealership. I like how they just said a good amount of them that don't sell turned into loaner cars for anybody that currently bought a vehicle and has to go into service to repair it. Then it turned into selling it to the rental car companies or just letting it sit on the lot for years and years, and eventually it would sell. It helps if you don't mark it up $5,000 more than the MSRP. Maybe lower the price and it'll sell. Just another brand known for reliability issues and very costly ones. I mean, if you've heard on the news, it seems like Nissan is teetering on the brink of bankruptcy, almost partnering with Honda to save them, but that fell through. It does not look good for them right now. But dealers are surprised that the sale volume has slowed down, while also making videos like this for everyone to see.
Highest monthly payment you've seen?
Ooh, the highest monthly payment I've seen here, probably about maybe $1,200.
What was the car?
It was innocent.
About $3,500.
What was the car?
A G-Wagon G63, about $2,500.
What was the car?
A GTR.
Probably close to $2,500.
What was the car?
Yukon Denali Ultimate, $115,000.
Fully loaded.
Fully loaded.
Nice.
Everything.
$1,450.
What was the car?
Used truck. Ooh, about $1,320.
What was the car?
It was a Lancer Evo Special Edition.
$1,000.
What was the car?
GMC Hummer.
So I know a couple of them were wildly expensive. Of course, the G-Wagon and Nissan GTR. But the first one, $1,200 for a Subaru Ascent. A used truck was apparently $1,200. $115,000 for the Yukon. You're really shocked that people don't want to pay this kind of money just to drive around in a depreciating vehicle? Another comment from you guys. I bought a brand new Dodge Challenger in 2016 with average credit, and my monthly payment was only $350 with $2,000 down. COVID destroyed. Actually impossible to find now.
Alrighty guys, so I'm here at this new Cadillac dealership looking at a couple new Cadillacs, and I just gotta say this. If you want this new Escalade that Cadillac has out with this nice paint job, go ahead and go sell your house, your kidneys, and your limbs so you can afford it. Take a look at this. This is the new Cadillac Escalade. I gotta say, this exterior paint job is hard as can be. I don't know if you guys can see the flakes in the paint job, but it is hard. But it better be hard for the price tag. I mean, let's take a look at it. Here we have a 2025 Escalade IQ Sport 2. Standard vehicle price $148,000. But wait, there is more. Total price $153,000 for this new Escalade IQ Sport 2. I wonder what the depreciation is on something like this.
$60,000 drop off driving it off the lot. Wouldn't really doubt it, honestly. Again, you're surprised that people aren't lining up in the dealership waiting to pay these prices? People are starting to wise up, whether they watch YouTube videos or fast-paced TikToks that still give you this type of information showing how badly they depreciate, the reliability issues, how overinflated the prices are in general, and you're just going to lose a lot of your customer base, honestly. So much so that we're starting to see some of these dealerships close down.
This could be very, very bad news if you're in the car business. So there is a large buy here, pay here that operates out of Texas and California that has reportedly closed 2 stores and laid off about 1,100 employees. Everybody knows that subprime banks have taken huge losses over the last 2 years or so, and you're finally starting to see big buy here, pay here's feel it also. Now they currently have 30 locations between Texas and California. And if you've been to the auction, I mean, they buy. If they get on a car, they're going to buy the car. It doesn't matter if you're drive time. It doesn't matter if you're a large dealer group. They will pay whatever for the car. They also just reportedly laid off about 1,100 people. And again, 2 of their dealerships in San Antonio, 1 in San Antonio, 1 in Dallas, apparently have closed. For years, since I've been in the business, I've watched Tricolor pay stupid money for any vehicle. And I think it's finally catching up to them.
Maybe that worked 4 or 5 years ago, but not today. And I know that this is a buy here, pay here dealership, but we've also seen big manufacturers start laying off a ton of employees. I made an entire dedicated video showing everything on the news recently, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's even more information of plants getting shut down now. As a dealer of 32 years, I'm so sick of this business. Terrible quality, no selection, and today's cars are absolutely trash and way too expensive to buy. So I'm going to end this video with a clip that I think a lot of people are starting to realize that overall I think is a positive for most people's wallets.
When it comes to cars, it is one of the places that, financially speaking, I mean, it's kind of one of the dumbest debts you can get into from a financial perspective, because again, you're borrowing money and paying more on that borrowed money because of interest on an asset that's going down in value versus like a house, a mortgage, right? You take out a mortgage, you do pay interest on that loan, but the value of that home is going up at the same time. So the car itself is not a wise purchase to make when you don't have cash for it.
So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed